So I know I haven't posted in a long time, and there's kind of a reason for that, and that's, my past few videos have been about depression, and I didn't really feel like I was in a place to be able to make videos to actually talk about stuff and not come across as just really depressed. I've had something change recently that's really made a difference for me in my perception of how I orient myself to myself, but also to the world. I'm going to share that, but I just want to let you know that I'm doing a little bit of a different format. So I've been doing some video journaling, which is kind of different because video journaling, I'm not so much worried about what I talk about or sort of what comes out. I just let myself talk, and that seems to be more fulfilling for me and more organic for me. So that's what I've been doing. So in this video I kind of compiled a few different video journals into one. So I'm not really sure how it's going to turn out, but we'll see. So first I'm going to show you some clips from my trip to Europe, and then I'm going to go ahead and talk about sort of what I've been processing and working on right now. So I hope you enjoyed some of that footage from vacation. It was fun, the weather was nice, and Italy's beautiful. France, it's always nice to go back. So the next footage that I'm going to show you is something that I recorded before I went to France. And I didn't post it right away because I felt kind of ashamed of it in some way. I also didn't believe in myself at the time that I made it, but I was doing my best to try to set like an intention of committing to myself and starting to believe in myself. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this clip. For as long as I can remember, I haven't really believed in myself. Mostly the fear of being judged, criticized, rejected. I'm kind of ashamed of it. I think that I've come to a point in my life where I don't really want to do that anymore, but I want to make an effort and build something. And I don't think that I can really be happy in my life until I actually fully commit to myself. I want to commit to my own confidence and to moving forward and believing in my own voice. So that clip that I made was a really important sort of deciding moment for me, because in that moment I was deciding that I was going to believe in myself, that I was going to feel confident in expressing myself and feel confident in putting myself out there and doing it and not hesitating. I have a tendency to sort of suppress my voice, and this was sort of me saying like, hey, we're done with that. We're gonna be Hayden, and we're gonna see what happens when I believe in what I do. So that was a big turning point for me, and then that led me to another conclusion that was very important for me to understand. I think that videos are good for me because it helps me to develop my self-expression, which is something that I have difficulty with. I'm going to make a schedule. I got a calendar. I'm going to put things on the schedule, which is not something that I am used to doing. I'm going to do it. That video was after I came back from France. In that video I realized how important it is for me to have something like some kind of medium to express myself, whether it be video, whether it be, teaching a class, or developing something that allows me to express myself. And so I made a commitment before France in that other video. I was even when I was in Europe, there were some times where I was feeling kind of depressed, and there were some things that felt kind of off. But when I came back, there was a sense of like determination that like I wanted to do something different. Like I wanted to commit to something. I wanted to make it work, like not just kind of float along anymore. So by me saying that I'm going to put on a schedule and have some organized plan to achieve what I'm trying to achieve, to achieve my goals, that was a big step for me. That was an important thing for me to start doing before I watched a video. And this video that I watched was ultimately the turning point for me. Kind of led to a breakthrough in understanding and how I want to move forward in my life. So the video I watched was of Brene Brown. If you don't know who Brene Brown is, she talks about vulnerability and how every person, she does like studies on people to figure out what makes them happy and like what makes them feel like they have a full life. And the most common, the common denominator between all of them is that they feel comfortable being uncomfortable or being vulnerable. She explains that vulnerability is the source of all the good things that we want, like joy, happiness, love, and creativity, and things like that. It was a really good talk, and she really uses a lot of different examples. I would definitely recommend checking that out. I'll put that in the description below. Oh, and there's also her TED Talk that you could watch too. And I guess I'll post that video down below as well. She helped me understand in the video that what I really want to do is have my voice be heard, be confident in who I am long term. Like at the end of my life, like what choice would I respect in myself in this moment? The image that came into my mind was like a knight in shining armor, like somebody who has courage and is willing to fight their battles, living life instead of hiding from it. So I guess that's what I want to work on. So that was a lot of information, but basically what I've realized is that I've been hiding from things that I'm afraid of. I've been running away from my problems. I've been running away from things. I was afraid of being vulnerable. I was afraid to put myself out there and be myself. Like in the past, people have told me that I can't be myself, and so that's why I've sort of internalized that mantra of like, no, Hayden, you can't do that you can't be you. But I've realized that that's bullshit. Like I don't have to follow that. I can be myself, and I can let myself feel okay and not be stuck in fear all the time. I can let go of that. I don't have to hold on to it. So that has opened like so much for me. Like I went out with my friends to watch a hockey game, and then we went out to a few different bars after that, but it was like the first night in I don't know how long that I did not feel anxious in social situations. I was totally fine. Did I experience anxiety at some points? Yeah, but like that's part of normal social interaction. It wasn't like it was a big deal. Like I was just like, okay, whatever. And like it was just so easy. I was just there and I could just talk and just hang out. Like there was no problem. And that's like so big for me because I've been dealing with social anxiety for, I mean, as long as I can remember. Like basically like high school is where it really started hardcore. That was so big. And like still today, like I feel so much better. I just feel free. Like I'm not bound down by like the burdens of my past. There's still obviously things that I need to work out, but this is like a huge opening, and like for me to understand this, like it gives me a way to work on myself moving forward, like how to deal with my fears, how to deal with things. Social anxiety is just like one that it just vanished. It was like I wasn't holding on to it anymore. I could just let it go. And I actually had a dream about, it was kind of like I was a being with like powers in my dream, and everybody every like spirit had like a power, like they had their own abilities and stuff. And so I was like riding along with I was on a motorcycle, and I was riding along with some fellow friends of mine who were also spirits, and they also had their own powers, and they were riding along with me. And at one point there was a juncture on the road, and there was like this big canyon area. It was like kind of looked like a barren desert, but super like mountainy. It looked like a really hard route to travel on with just like a road bike. So I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that trail. And they're like, that's a really hard trail. Like you're gonna get stuck. You're gonna get in trouble. And so I decided to go for it anyways. And then the dream kind of shifted, and I sort of lost touch with my friends, my friendly spirit friends that had powers, and I got trapped in with some more negative entities. They were not like benevolent spirits, they were kind of mean. Throughout the dream, I sort of interacted with them and got caught in like a trap. And throughout the dream, I learned that it was my choice to stay in that trap. And throughout the dream, I became more and more aware I didn't need to stay there if I didn't want to. I could change my circumstance. And so slowly I became more empowered and more empowered. And at the beginning, I had no power at all. It felt like I had no control. I was like being oppressed and under submission of the negative entities. As I gained my power, I had the creativity and ingenuity to maneuver my way out of that area. And I ended up going to a bike shop and getting my motorcycle, not my motorcycle, but getting another motorcycle again. And the last scene of the dream was me getting a helmet, which is like the final step, really. Like if you want to ride a bike, at least that's the way it felt in the dream, was like I was getting the final thing to get my independence again. And that dream really symbolizes what's happened for me recently. I think that this is something that's permanent. It's not going to go away. This insight that I've gained is going to stay with me, and it's going to help me to move forward. And I'm just so excited because I feel like the huge limitations have been taken off of my plate. So now I can actually do the things that I want to do because I'm going to have the ability to let go and to stick with things for the long term, and have like my big thing right now is like vision for the long term, is like thinking like, okay, what do I do today to get to where I want to go tomorrow, or 5 months, or like way in the future. And so having that mindset gives me like huge incentive to do things, and it doesn't feel like a burden. Like I'm excited to do things. I'm excited to like share this with you guys. Excited to like make the videos. I'm developing a class that hopefully I can teach about some of this stuff, similar process of like understanding what your limitations are and then moving through them and working with the actual belief structures and things like that we have. That's what I want to potentially help people with. I still have some things to work out with the class, but I'm just so excited because there's so many new things that I just want to do and fill up my time with, instead of doing things that involve escaping and avoiding stuff, which I've been doing for so long. I hope that you liked this video. I hope that there was some stuff in here that you found interesting or maybe just entertaining. So if you like this video, let me know by liking or commenting below. And if you'd like to see more videos that I've made, then feel free to subscribe to my channel, Informal Inquiry. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you next time.